Hello and welcome back to this channel. Happy Friday. And what a Friday it is. Okay, first of all, number one, Friday. We made it, baby. Okay, it's Friday. It's Halloween and the Jays are back in the city of Toronto to take Game 6, fingers crossed, against the Dodgers. And I just finished an audition. That's 4, baby. I mean, how much better of a day can it be? I hope y'all are having a great day, and it is always a pleasure to have you here. My name is Mandy Magnan. I'm an actor, writer, producer, director, and YouTube commentator right here in Toronto. Last night was wild, guys. We're going straight into it. It ends with us. We're going to be talking about the sheer insanity and audacity of the filings that were just filed last night by the one, the only, the Blake Lively. Then also the judge came back today with an order, and yeah, we're going to go all for it. Okay, I have a lot of things to say on this, as I'm sure you do too. And then at the end, because it's Friday, we're going to go over some of your comments from the week that I have queued up. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Grab that emotional support lip gloss because you're going to need it, because I'm sure after you read this motion, you just hold on to something, okay? You are in frame with Mandy Magnan. As we all anxiously wait Jen Abel's countersuit today against Stephanie motherfucking Jones. Yesterday, late last night in the hour, Blake Lively decided to open the GoFundMe again and beg for more sanctions, this time for JAMEY Heath. I was so stunned last night, and honestly, last night I actually even joined a live on TikTok, which was so crazy, not kind of like me usually, but I had already rested for the night. I was ready to just unwind. I ate a little Canadian candy, took a nice bath, got into bed, and I was like, let me just see what's been filed, what I can talk about tomorrow, doing a little research, and this motion for sanctions popped up. I read it, then I screenshotted it, and I put it onto the YouTube post so everyone can know what, was going down. And then I was like reeling, like, this can't be. So then I went onto the TikTok, and there was a live going on. And so I just jumped in the live just to watch and listen to other people's perspective and see if people were feeling the same way as me. And then all of a sudden in the comments, people were like saying, hi Mandy. Yo, that was so cool. Like, I just love the community that we're building. I said it, and then I was invited to join the live. I didn't have my camera on, of course, because I was like literally laying in bed in the dark, like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a little loopy, you feel me? But it was a really great conversation with an amazing bunch of women who are also covering this case. So thank you so much that everyone that joined the live said hi. And then, of course, for the host of the live, it was really, really cool. And I'm happy that we're all kind of on the same page with this. It's absolutely wild. It's insane. And at the end of the day, I'm at a loss of words because we're losing the plot. Blake is really losing the plot. However, today it might end with Jen Abel. It ends with Jen Abel's countersuit if it gets filed today. Today by midnight is the deadline, and I hope they absolutely destroy them when it comes to Van Zandt and when it comes to all of the unethical things that they have pulled. But in the meantime, Blake Lively, every time she drops something like this, it's always on the eve of something going bad for her. It's always on the eve right before Wayfair have some things to say. And this is all it was. I feel like this is totally for PR. I think this is definitely for the headlines to all talk all weekend about more sanctions, demanding sanctions from Blake Lively. And let's just get into it. It's real short, this motion, but because I have a lot of things to say about it, so that we're all on track and we know like what we're talking about, let's just read this. Let's read this piece of work, okay? Miss Lively respectfully moves the court to sanction defendant JAMEY HEATH pursuant to Rule 37 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure for failure to comply with the court's August 27, 2025 order compelling the production of certain materials. The video Mr. Heath showed Miss Lively on the set of the film of his fully nude wife during the birth of their child during an at-home birth video without warning or consent by September 2nd, 2025. To date, Mr. Heath has produced only a 3-minute video excerpt depicting redacted. Miss Lively has consistently disputed that the video that Mr. Heath produced pursuant to the order compelling production was the video that he showed her on set of the film. After his counsel insisted for weeks that they were not aware of any other video, Mr. Heath recently revealed at his deposition that redacted. Yet, Mr. Heath's counsel has refused to produce any further video on the sole basis that, in their view, the order compelling production should be read exceedingly narrowly and does not require Mr. Heath to produce it. Not so. Moreover, Mr. Heath put this video at issue by showing it to Miss Lively without her consent or any warning in the workplace. It is plainly improper for Mr. Heath to now contend that Miss Lively, this court, and the jury must accept his word that the small excerpt of the redacted is the same video he showed her on set, when it does not comport whatsoever with her memory, and redacted, by which Miss Lively could challenge his assertion. By knowingly and willfully withholding blank, Miss Lively was deprived of the opportunity to fully question Mr. Heath on this topic at his deposition and has therefore been prejudiced. Accordingly, Rule 37 sanctions are warranted that 1. Order Mr. Heath to produce all video footage depicting the birth video within 3 days of the court's order, and 2. Precluding Mr. Heath from offering any evidence, including written or oral testimony on the topic of his showing the birth video or any portion thereof to Miss Lively. In the order compelling production, the court ordered the Wayfair parties to produce inter alia documents and communications related to Lively's CRD complaint, and documents identified in the Wayfair parties' amended complaint, including the birth video, no later than September 2nd, 2025. The allegations in the CRD complaint include the following description of the birth video. To add insult to injury, Mr. Heath approached Miss Lively and her assistant on set and started playing a video of a fully nude woman with her legs spread apart. Miss Lively thought he was showing her pornography and stopped him. Mr. Heath explained that the video was his wife giving birth. Miss Lively was alarmed and asked Mr. Heath if his wife knew he was sharing the video, to which he replied, "She isn't weird about this stuff," as if Miss Lively was weird for not welcoming it. Miss Lively and her assistant excused themselves, stunned that Mr. Heath had shown them a nude video. The Wayfair defendant's now dismissed complaint admitted that Mr. Heath showed Miss Lively a video from his child's home birth and confirmed that he did so at Mr. Baldoni's insistence that it demonstrated Mr. Baldoni's vision for the birthing scene. Emphasis added. But their now dismissed complaint criticized Miss Lively's description in the CRD complaint and operative complaint of the birth video Mr. Heath showed her as an outrageous and knowingly false suggestion that she was shown pornography or naked images of Heath's wife on set. The Wayfair defendants pleaded that the full birth video is by all accounts beautiful. On August 22nd, 2025, the Wayfair defendants produced a 3-minute and 29-second video that shows redacted. a snapshot of which the Wayfair defendants included in an attachment to their first publicly filed and now dismissed complaint. On September 24, 2025, counsel for Ms. Lively conferred with counsel for the Wayfair defendants, explaining that produced video excerpt reflected only a few minutes of footage, and does not reflect the portion of the video that Mr. Heath showed Ms. Lively while she was on the set of the film. Opposing counsel said they had no reason to believe that the produced video excerpt was not what Mr. Heath showed Ms. Lively, and they were not willing to engage in further conferral absent additional information. Mr. Heath sat for his deposition on October 8, 2025. During his deposition, Mr. Heath testified that and it's all redacted, which we'll get into. After the Heath deposition, Ms. Lively's counsel sent an email regarding the Wayfair defendants' position taken on September 24th. The Wayfair defendants did not respond. Ms. Lively's counsel attempted to confer with counsel for the Wayfair defendants again on October 20th, 2025 to obviate the need for this motion, only to be met with refusal on October 29th. The court should exercise its broad discretion to sanction Mr. Heath pursuant to Rule 37B2A for failure to obey the order compelling production. Specifically, the court should 1. Order Mr. Heath to produce all video footage depicting the birth video, including but not limited to all versions that show the delivery within 3 days of the court's order, and 2, preclude Mr. Heath from offering any evidence, including written or oral testimony on the topic of his showing the birth video or any portion thereof to Ms. Lively. Court may enter sanctions prohibiting the disobedient party from supporting or opposing designated claims or defenses or from introducing designated matters in evidence. Then they state a bunch of reasons why he should be sanctioned. Preclusion is warranted because Mr. Heath's refusal to produce all responsive footage has deprived Ms. Lively of key evidence needed to litigate a contested issue in advance of his deposition. Mr. Heath's failure to comply with the order compelling production materially limited Ms. Lively's ability to probe Mr. Heath's recollection and testimony about the birth video at his deposition, and specifically the portion of the footage he claims to have shown Ms. Lively. If Mr. Heath's non-compliance stands, he will have successfully and unfairly deprived Ms. Lively from showing the jury the part of the footage she recalls Mr. Heath showing her on set. The court should not reward Mr. Heath for his own misconduct. Ezra frickin' Hudson. Okay, and now let's just look at the footnotes and then we'll get into some chats, okay? The footnote here, the first footnote says, Ms. Lively served discovery on Mr. Heath seeking all documents and communications concerning your allegations in paragraph 101 of the Wayfair's SDNY complaint that Ms. Lively falsely suggested that she was shown pornography or naked images of Mr. Heath's wife on set. Lively's third set of requests for production to JAMEY Heath. Heath responses and objections, and then that's what they've put in, which we're going to look at the emails that they allow us to see. Upon discovering the produced video excerpt buried within Mr. Heath's production, Ms. Lively's counsel immediately restricted access to only a limited group and has offered to do so for future footage productions. To the extent Mr. Heath still refuses to produce all versions of the video, Ms. Lively reserves the right to seek more severe sanctions, including an order directing that certain designated facts be taken as established for purposes of the action. Blake Lively, you absolute psychotic bitch, okay? Are you, what? I'm so sorry, and I feel so bad for JAMEY Heath's wife. And anyone that's like, you hate women, oh my God, that's why you don't believe Blake Lively. Shut your face right now. because it is Blake Lively who has been attacking female content creators, damn near all women, except for Perez Hilton and Andy Signor. All women who are very open about being survivors themselves. And now she wants something so private from a third party. From a third party. Jamie Heath's wife has nothing to do with this. What if she was in labor 10, 15, 20, 30 hours and they had tons of cameras recording? They wanted to document the whole thing. You think he's walking around with that on his freaking phone? Or he's just walking around with the video that they edited that is already up on social media? There is no protection for Jamie Heath's wife with Blake Lively getting a hold of this footage. Blake Lively is a mother of 4. She has gone through labor 4 times. And a video of a home birth, that's where we're at. That's what we're fighting for. That's what you consider grotesque and pornography. And let's just get it real straight, right? Blake Lively wasn't just at the office in her little cubicle and Jamie Heath came in and she was like, "How was your weekend?" And he was like, "Oh, it was good. Do you want to see what I did?" And then started showing her that. Blake Lively was a producer on set, and she took that role extremely serious, as you can tell. She wanted the daily. She took over wardrobe. She was doing a lot. She wanted to direct some scenes. I mean, in all of her own interviews from the PR of the film, she says, "Oh, the work I did in front of the camera wasn't even as much as the work I did behind the cameras." You are an actor preparing for a role, specifically preparing for a birthing scene, and you want to be at the table with the producers, the top dogs, the directors, right? Well, you know what you do? Research. So you look at other birthing videos. You look at how you want to shoot it. This is so, to me, like, first of all, poor Jamie Heath's wife. Why would she ever consent to releasing all of her home videos of her own birth to Blake Lively, a woman who has openly, in her own CRD complaint, called them clowns and creeps, went around town calling them sexual predators, saying that how they basically was repeatedly sexually harassing her, that they're creeps, right? They're sexual harassers. They're monsters, in Blake Lively's opinion. Jamie Heath always walking into the trailer, staring at her while she's pumping, right? They're monsters. They're predators. They're sexual predators. So now you think Jamie Heath's wife wants to release all of her home videos to a woman who is now suing them? Are you serious? This is absolutely crazy. And at the end of the day, it is still just a home birthing video. A home birthing video to a mother of 4. Blake Lively isn't just this like PG little angel girl that's so innocent and has never made any kind of like bad joke or sexual innuendo, or is like so sheltered from life that this would be so triggering. Have you seen the jokes that she's made? Have you seen who she is? She's married to frickin' Ryan Reynolds. Look what they made their kids do in Deadpool and Wolverine. What they made their kids say. And it's on tape behind the scenes that they made their kids say that in different variations up to 500 times. Seeing a home video? A birthing video? That's the hill you want to die on? That's what you're going for here? Unfreaking believable. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, because there are some things that were said in this letter that I think that are just so wow. Absolutely unbelievable. It's what a monster of a woman. What a monster of a woman. Oh my God. Now she wants to be the voice for all women. Please retire immediately from that role. Thank you so much. This is just such an attack on Jamie Heath and on his wife She has no right to any of the videos other than what was on Jamie Heath's phone. That's it. And she's also redacting things in this motion that I feel that are nothing. Look at when she redacted all of the stuff from Claire Ayub. She made it sound like she was sexually harassed too, that it was all Justin Baldoni, that Steve Saretz got on the phone with her and was threatening this witness. And then it turned out that that wasn't it at all. So I think the redactions in here is Jamie Heath saying very much, yeah, there's other footage. Yeah, there's way more footage, but that's the only one I have on my phone. I don't walk around with a hard drive with 24 hours of labor videos. Hello? And I doubt very much how she keeps saying without any warning or consent. Like he just went right up to you and shoved the phone in your face. Please, there must have been some kind of conversation before that. Y'all were probably talking about the birth, the scene that was coming up, how they want it done, the emotion they want you to play. But Blake Lively doesn't know the difference from playing a character and showing up and being Blake Lively. Okay, that is just fact. She's the same in every single role, period. I like how they mention without her consent multiple times, as well as here with any warning in the workplace. You're not just like working a 9-to-5, babes. You're on a creative project with independent filmmakers and you wanted to be part of the creative discussions. So that's the creative discussions. I've been on set, even when I made Desire, we had Pinterest storyboards, we had visuals going on, I was sending some of the boys some pretty grotesque, violent things, right? Because we have some, in the film. So imagine then if one of the producers came up to me and was like saying this because I sent some videos to them while talking about what I wanted for my film. It's just so crazy. It's guys, like, this is mayhem. This is nuts. And she doesn't even know if it's the video that she saw. It says it right here. When it does not comport whatsoever with her memory. Okay, but your memory, babes, has been off quite a lot. And what's so even wild is just a couple of days ago, this week, I made videos comparing some of Blake's memory problems, right? So we already know that her memory didn't serve her so well when it came to the dance montage. We already know her memory didn't serve her too well when it came to the birthing scene. But trust her that when it comes to what she saw on this video just for a second before she turned away, we're supposed to just trust that this one is the one. This is what she remembers perfectly. Girl, your story has changed so many freaking times. And also, at the end of the day, it's just a birthing video. I can't wrap my head around it. It also says here, Miss Lively was deprived of the opportunity to fully question Mr. Heath on this topic at his deposition and has therefore been prejudiced. How? You could have still asked him anything that you needed to ask. You could have asked him, is this the video you showed us? Where's the video you showed us? Do you have the video? Do you know if this is the right video? Do you think this was inappropriate? What conversation did you have before this? What was the setting? How did this occur? Who was around? You were not deprived to ask him anything about this video because you knew about the video. That's nuts too. And she also said that her assistant was there. So depose your assistant. Did she say the same? Did she see the same thing? Does she agree that this is not the video that they saw? You were not deprived of anything. The victimhood is so big with this one. And yet again, she just wants this to be so one-sided. Because not only does she want all of the video footage depicting the birth video, all of it, all of Jamie Heath's wife's birth. Can you imagine? Okay, that is bonkers. You do not have the right to see that, and it's not protected by anything. So why do you want, you know what birth is? You know what birth is? As soon as he said to you, oh, this is a birthing video. That should have been a wrap on the conversation. You should have watched it because they are the producers and director, and they wanted you to get into probably an emotional state, the same natural state, no fake acting there, Blakey Blake, the same natural state that his wife was in as a woman who's given birth 4 times. This is absurd. Okay, so as soon as you're like, oh my God, is that porn? Why she would even think that in the first place is wild, okay? She was so on guard and such a victim, and every little thing is she's being wronged at every turn is unbelievable to even fathom, okay? But then as soon as he was like, oh no, this is my wife's birthing video. And then she says, allegedly, does your wife know you're showing this? Yeah, bitch, it's on her Instagram. It's on Jamie's Instagram. But then he just says, oh, she's not weird about this stuff. Okay, he didn't say, you're weird that you think that I have to get permission from my wife. She put that in there. After he said, oh, she's not weird about this stuff, it should have been like, oh, okay, let me see. So what exactly do you want me to do? Do you want the same facial expressions? Okay, so not a heightened emotion, but like natural, happy. Okay, but still pushing. That's the creative conversation. Not to get all your whole panties in a bunch here because what? It's absurd. And now she wants all video footage. Do you know why she wants this? So that she can watch it like a sicko to pinpoint the most, I don't want to say grotesque, but the most, intrusive, I should say, the most private moment that she can find and snip that and use it against him. It's sick. It's truly sick when you think about it. The only thing they have to show is whatever videos Jamey Heath had on his phone at that time. He's not walking around with a hard drive of his wife's birth in his back pocket every day, okay? But she also wants to preclude Mr. Heath from offering any evidence, including written or oral, on the topic of his showing the birth video, or any portion thereof to Miss Lively. Do you remember when she pulled sanctions for the signal messages as well on Justin Baldoni? She also wants the jury now to believe that whatever they say were in those signal messages and in the proved the smear campaign, and the Wayfair people aren't allowed to oppose it either. They have to agree because they don't have the messages. So now you have Blake Lively trying to, number one, be able to say that the smear campaign happened without any evidence because the signal messages were on auto delete, as well as now say, well, he showed me whatever is in her imagination that he showed her, and they can't oppose that either. This is trying to be the most one-sided court case I've ever seen in my life. Blake Lively and her counsel are out of freaking control. And here in the footnote, they think they were like so nice by writing this. Upon discovering the produced video excerpt buried within Mr. Heath's production, Miss Lively's counsel immediately restricted access to only a limited group and has offered to do so for future footage productions. Okay, that's a nice offer. The fact that you even want all these hours, I'm sure hours and hours of footage of another woman, a third party who's not even in this case, has nothing to do with this case other than being married to Jamey Heath. That footage isn't protected. Why? Because you said so? Like Blake Lively doesn't like to dox people's information? It's not protected by anything, this video. I feel so bad for Jamey Heath's wife right now. This is the most intrusive, violating thing Blake Lively has done thus far. And her reach is out of control. And I hope the judge puts an end to it. And the fact that it does not comport whatsoever with her memory, your memory can't be trusted. We're here right now for garden variety emotional stress. So how do we know that your memory is even serving you the way you think when no one can even see your medical records? You're losing it, babes. I have so much to say about this, but for time, I think I've said all I have to say at this moment, because this is absolutely ludicrous. It's absolutely insane, because at the end of the day, regardless of what the video was, it's still just a birthing video, a home birthing video. It's not pornography. They can all agree on that. And it's just, this is just okay. Let's move on. What do y'all think about this? Like, this is crazy. But before we move on, I am going to show you what Jamey Heath has on his Instagram. I have to do it with the sound off, but it's very beautiful, obviously, with the song that they chose to play over it. So for anyone watching, if you don't want to see the video I'm going to show you, it does have Jamey Heath's wife, you know, in labor as well as post-labor. And this is the video that they've shared online. And I'm sure that is on his phone. And yeah, let's just take a look at it right now, and you tell me what you think. I just want to preface this by saying that the women that Blake Lively has come for are very beautiful women. Jamey Heath's wife looks so amazing. If you go to her page, she really is doing amazing things for young moms and for new moms. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm hurt for them. But this is the video that he posted on Mother's Day. We'll take a look. There's the birth. The baby just came out. The first time the baby is on the mother's chest. His first prayer. It's beautiful. I mean, that's the video. And even if it was during the labor, she's underwater. So how much can you see? And also, it's like, it's a freaking birthing video to a mother of 4. And just look at what he wrote. On Mother's Day, my amazing wife at Mama Tasha Heath posted this video. She wanted to share the beauty of becoming a mother. I am in awe of her, and I just had to reshare what she posted. On this Mother's Day, I am inspired to look back at my births, 2 of the most sacred moments of my life, the most empowering, challenging, natural, and surreal moments for my mind, body, and spirit. Outwardly, it is fire and vengeance, but inwardly, it is light and mercy. Baha's writing. To all the mamas out there, I see you. Know that you are doing the most noble work in this life. May you be acknowledged, valued, and revered for your work today and every day. To my husband at Jamey Heath, thank you for being such a loving and strong support during our children's births, and for honoring me in motherhood. I love you in all the worlds. I love you in all the worlds. Stop. To my children, thank you for choosing me. I only pray that I live up to your nobility, joy, and pizzazz. And then it continues. What a beautiful, beautiful moment and post. This reminds me of Jenny Slate. You know, Jenny, the man beater Slate, who was also in It Ends With Us, who was one of the ones that filed an HR complaint, and Blake Lively made sure to put that in the CRD complaint, but didn't put who it was, and also didn't put what the complaint was about. And then we find out that actually Jenny, the man beater Slate, yeah, she did file a complaint. Yeah, against Jamey Heath. Yeah, and it wasn't for sexual harassment or anything. It was for offering her $13,000 to move out of the apartment she claimed was unsafe for her and her toddler, so she can continue filming with her and her toddler in a safe apartment, and they wanted to pay for that. Yeah, because he started talking about the sanctity of motherhood and how important it is, she filed a complaint. Now, what I think happened is then both of these girls, and that's the video that made me in the docket, got together, man-hating, probably hating being women, or not probably hating being mothers, because show me an interview where Blake Lively, while pregnant, liked to be pregnant. Hated it. Okay? I think Blake Lively becoming a mother probably, stalled her career a little bit while she saw her husband continuing to go out there, and she's bitter. And I think Snake Lively and Jenny, the man-beater SLATE, were together on set. Oh my God, can you believe he's talking to me about motherhood? What do they know about motherhood? What do they know about pumping? And then Blake Lively was probably like, oh, do you know what Justin Baldoni gave me? Oh my God, this thing to like pump with and cover myself when I'm breastfeeding. It's so like, what do they know? Men. Ew, 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 ew. So then every single little interaction that happened got flipped on its head and used against them. This is disgusting that she wants every video, all video to do with JAMEY Heath's wife's birth. And now she's had multiple. So does she have to give them everything? Every birthing video she's ever taken, every video she's ever taken while in labor? After labor, holding her children for the first time? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But believe it, because it's happening. Now stay with me here, because we're going to look at the emails. And looking at emails always gets a little tricky, because you got to start from the bottom. Because when you print them out or when you export them, it's all a big thing, right? So it looks a little messy. But we're going to start with the first email. And this is from Blake Lively's counsel, Michaela Connolly. She writes, and this is on September 23rd, 11:31. She writes, Counsel, please advise when you are available to meet and confer regarding 1, Melissa Nathan's improper, non-responsive redactions. That's interesting, because Blake Lively is just redacting things. Look how she redacted all of this stuff for Claire, and it was so improper. Next, 2, Wayfarer, and then that file ID, which appears to be altered and incomplete. And 3, depositions of redacted, which are each noticed for Friday. The attached documents produced by Mr. Saritz, despite that it appears he is not the custodian of any of these documents and has not produced them from his own devices. And 5, redactions appearing on Mr. Saritz's phone logs. So then they have all of the Melissa Nathan. I guess they're challenging all of these files from Melissa Nathan, right? Nothing in here has anything to do with JAMEY Heath, unless that's the one that they've redacted, but doesn't look like. So that's from Blake Lively's counsel. There is a response coming, and this is from the Wayfarer counsel. They say, Counsel, per my call with Michaela this afternoon, the Wayfarer parties are available to meet and confer within 48 hours of your email on items 1 through 2 and 4 to 5 identified below. Please provide available windows for tomorrow afternoon Pacific time. As item 3 involved depositions noticed for Friday, September 26th, it is imperative that we understand what the scheduling issues you wish to raise are immediately. Redacted. So I'm unclear what there is to meet and confer about. As for, redacted, has informed us they are not appearing on Friday, September 26th. As you are the noticing party, please confirm in writing that the deposition is not proceeding on September 26th. It looks like it's a very short name, so I'm just going to throw it out there. I think maybe it could be Liz Plank, but it's a very, very short name. So whoever it is like Bob, Liz, Tony, like short names like that. Then Michaela answers back. So that was on Tuesday at 8:18 p.m. Michaela answers back on Tuesday at 9:45 p.m. And she writes, Theresa, we can be available to discuss further in the following windows, 2 to 3 or 4 to 5:30. As for redacted, we are exploring September 29th as an alternative, but, redacted, expressed that later next week would be more workable for them. We are amenable to proceeding later in the week if the Wayfair parties agree to the same. So then we move up. And then we have an answer here from Teresa, again from the Wayfair Council, and she wrote, Council, we can make ourselves available at 5 p.m. Pacific today. Please confirm. Please also confirm definitely that the blank deposition is off calendar for this Friday. And then the next email you get is on October 16th. So that was the email chain that was going on. The last email sent was from the Wayfair people, it looks like, on September 24th. The next email, it looks like, on this chain isn't until October 16th, weeks later. She writes, Council, we write to follow up on the below reference conferral and certain outstanding issues stemming from Ms. Lively's omnibus motion to compel or arising thereafter. As you might recall, in advance of our September 24th conferral, we identified in writing a number of Ms. Nathan's documents that bear impermissibly broad, non-responsive redactions. You were not prepared to discuss the redactions when the parties conferred, even though Ms. Lively had raised this issue over a month earlier in her omnibus motion to compel. Nonetheless, per your request, we clarified that the documents at issue either bear one, non-responsive redactions on text that we know is responsive and relevant from other party third-party productions, or two, non-responsive redactions that are overbroad on their face. We have categorized the documents below. Please promptly confirm that Ms. Nathan will reproduce these documents without non-responsive redactions. As to Mr. Saritz's document deficiencies, we shared an Excel tracking 178 documents that bear a Saritz-Bates prefix, but that are non-custodial to Mr. Saritz and were not produced from Mr. Saritz's devices. You indicated that you would confer with your vendor regarding the disparity and circle back. It has been over 3 weeks and you have yet to provide any explanation. We also discussed Wayfair, file number, a video that Wayfair produced only after Ms. Lively successfully moved to compel the same, and allegedly the birth video identified in the Wayfair defendant's amended complaint. We conveyed that the video produced at Wayfair, video number, is not the video Mr. Heath showed to Ms. Lively on the set of It Ends With Us, including because blank. We requested that you produce all copies and excerpts of the birth video. You indicated that you had no reason to believe that the produced video was any different than the one Mr. Heath showed Ms. Lively and refused to engage further unless we could provide additional information. And then there is no response. So I guess the video expert in the first email was the JAMEY Heath. I'm not really sure why they're also redacting things while saying that there's improper redactions, because like we know what you were talking about in that video file, it goes with your motion for sanctions because of the birth video. So very strange. That last email was sent from Blake Lively's counsel on October 16th. I guess there is no response because then the next email in the next exhibit is from Blake Lively's counsel. It starts on Blake Lively's counsel, and this is sent 4 days later on Monday, October 20th at 5:51. It says, Counsel, we write regarding Mr. Heath's failure to produce complete footage of the birthing video alleged in Ms. Lively's second amended complaint, despite the agreement to do so in the Wayfair defendant's opposition to Ms. Lively's omnibus motion to compel, and despite the court's August 27, 2025 order requiring the same. In his recent deposition, Mr. Heath testified that, to date, however, Mr. Heath has only produced blank. As we have previously conveyed, Ms. Lively disputes that the video produced at Wayfair file number captures the footage that she was shown on set. We thus request that Mr. Heath produce all footage redacted. Why is that redacted when it's literally all footage of the birthing scene produced? Anyway, in compliance with the court's order, as we did with the previously produced version. Given the sensitivity of the content, we intend to restrict access to such footage to only a select group. Oh, you intend to do that, do you? What, until you get to court? Until the courtroom is full of people and you're showing the video? Please confirm by end of day tomorrow your agreement to produce the remaining footage. Miss Lively reserves all rights. Okay, so then it looks like they responded to her. Miss Teresa responded. So that one email was sent October 20th at 5:51. Then they responded on October 29th at 10:45. Or I guess they didn't reply because the next email coming apparently is from Blake's team. Teresa, as we discussed last night, please be advised by 1 p.m. today whether Mr. Heath will be producing the complete footage of the birthing video alleged in Miss Lively's second amended complaint. Then you go up here to the top, and Teresa did reply, and she replied on October 29th at 6:26 p.m. So at end of day from the same day that they got that email. She writes, counsel, the court ordered the Wayfair parties to produce documents identified in the Wayfair parties' amended complaint, including the birth video. The video described in the Wayfair parties' amended complaint shows Heath's wife, himself, and their baby after his wife gave birth at home. Wayfair parties' amended complaint, the video that was redacted, shown to Miss Lively, was produced more than a month and a half ago. The Wayfair parties have fully complied with the court's order with respect to the video. No other footage of Mr. Heath's family is responsive to any request for production Lively has propounded, and accordingly, none will be produced. And then they ask the end. That's the exhibit. And I absolutely fully agree. The only videos that need to be produced of this birthing video is the one that was on JAMEY Heath's phone that he showed Blake Lively on set. To demand all footage of a birthing scene for another woman that has nothing to do with this case is monstrous. It's disgusting, and Blake Lively needs to be checked because her reach right now is too much, okay? Reel it in, girl, because you're not looking too good upstairs, okay? There was also put into the docket today a memorandum in order by the judge. This has to do with the New York Times. The New York Times was asking for final judgment, and he gave it to them, pretty much, is what he says. Because the Wayfair people never responded, Blake Lively did. The defendant, Blake Lively, responded to the court, to the order to show cause. In her letter, Lively asserts that the court should enter final judgment while also treating her pending motions for fees as timely motions under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 59. The effect of doing so would be that the time to file an appeal in this matter would run from the entry of the order disposing of the motion for fees rather than from the entry of final judgment. So he says upon arriving at this, it required some, routes through the federal courts, but he agrees that Lively's unopposed approach is appropriate under these circumstances. Now, the Wayfair people never even responded. They had until October 27th to respond to this, whether or not they want the New York Times final judgment put in or anything. So I'm not sure what kind of game they're playing, but New York Times is now officially out. Rule 4 of the Federal Rules of Appellate Procedure governs the time that parties have to file an appeal as of right. In relevant part, the rule provides that although parties typically have 30 days following the entry of final judgment to appeal, if a party timely files one of a handful of enumerated motions before an appeal from the judgment has been taken, the time to file an appeal runs for all parties from the entry of the order disposing of that motion rather than from the entry of final judgment. One of the enumerated motions that effectively pauses the appellate clock is a motion to alter or amend the judgment. In other words, in putting this all together, the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure permit district courts to treat motions for attorney fees as Rule 59 motions for purposes of the Federal Rules of Appellate Procedure. And the Federal Rules of Appellate Procedure explain that where a Rule 59 motion has been filed prior to a notice of appeal, the time to appeal begins when the district court rules on that motion, not when it enters judgment. A district court is therefore permitted, but not required, to delay the finality of the judgment for appellate purposes under revised Federal Rule Appellate P4A until the fee dispute is decided. The court finds that such an approach is warranted here. Lively has filed motions for fees under New York's anti-SLAPE statute and California's Civil Code 47.1 prior to the entry of final judgment and prior to any notice of appeal. Despite prompting from the court regarding whether and how those motions might affect the entry of final judgment, neither the Times nor the Wayfarer people responded, and notably, neither has argued that such motions do not qualify as motions for attorney fees under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure. The court therefore assumes for present purposes that they do. Furthermore, the court finds that the judicial efficiency would be best served by simultaneously handling any appeals related to the request for fees with any appeals from the underlying judgment, given the significant substantive overlap between the two. Little purpose would be served by splitting up the pending motions and having the court's decision on those motions appealed piecemeal, with an attendant risk of separate appellate decisions, possibly separate remands, and further multiplications of this litigation. The court acknowledges, as the Times argues in this memorandum of law in support of its motion for entry of partial judgment, that delaying the time to appeal would also delay the reinitiation of discovery should the Second Circuit vacate any portion of the court's opinion and order dismissing the complaint. With this delay comes attendant risk regarding the possibility of fading memories as the time concedes. However, the possibility is ordinarily insufficient to overcome consideration of judicial efficiency and the prevention of piecemeal appeals. I thought that was very interesting, the possibility of fading memories, because doesn't Blake have like the possibility of fading memories now when it comes to the birthing video and what she saw and what she didn't see? I don't know. But anyway, so it's ordered that the final judgment be entered in this case. So the New York Times is out of here. It is further ordered under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 58E that Lively's motion to treat her pending motion for fees as motions under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 59 for purposes of Federal Rule of Appellate Procedure is granted. The Times motion seeking entry of partial judgment is denied as mute, given that the court has now entered final judgment. Wow, thank you so much, Judge Lyman. That's it, guys. Let me know what y'all think about that. I think it is bonkers, delulu crazy. I'm still hoping for an appeal. I can't wait for Jennifer Abel's countersuit tonight. Blake. That's just so crazy. You're just off the rails right now. I think this is all for PR. I literally think because they are going to either appeal and or file something today that's really going to be bad for Blake Lively. She wanted to get ahead of it. This has been time over and over and over. She's done that. And all of this over a home birthing video is absolutely nuts, because at the end of the day, it's still just a home birthing video, right? So anyway, drop your comments. I'm so interested to know what everyone thinks about this, because I think this time it's gone too far. Okay, like every time, but this time it's really gone too far. And just, I want Jamie Heath's wife to know that we are on her side and definitely fighting for them, because this is just, it's too much. It's too much, babes. But without any further ado, and for time's sake, see, because I could be here all day talking to y'all. Like, I could just kiki. Okay, let's go. Let's go over some of your comments that I have queued up from the week. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that subscribes to this channel and comments and engages. I love hearing from you. I wish I could answer back to every single one. I try my best, but I just want to say thank you so much. I am forever grateful for the community that we're building here, and to have met so many people from all over the world. I think it's super awesome. Thank you. You keep me going. Here we go. Right away, it's with Alani Dasu 8484. I hope it will end with Abel. I hope tonight we see the counterclaim, and I hope they really call out Van Zandt and Stephanie motherfucking Jones. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, at this point, they have more deposition testimony. They have expert discovery. I mean, they have more in their pocket. And also the judge, he did give them like a very clear map that he needs more and exactly what that looks like. Fingers crossed, and if it drops tonight, I will definitely be here tomorrow to let y'all know. At Jen Mello 8829 wrote, I'd love to hear more about the scandal on the James Franco film. Bring it. It's not James Franco, it's Dave Franco, his brother, but there is quite the scandal going on with his new horror film Together. I'm putting all the research together right now, and that video will be coming to you in just a few days. At Stop Doxing People said, rarely in the US legal system has there so clearly been a party so wronged by such an evil group of people. The multitude of egregious evil acts committed by Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Stephanie Jones, Leslie Sloan, Claire Ayub, Ari Emanuel, and others are staggering. Justice needs to happen now to exonerate the completely innocent Wayfair parties. Thank you so much for this message. I totally agree. And not only the Wayfair parties too, but now we have to say she's literally throwing every single person on set under the bus. There are people on set who have the power and are supposed to protect the actress, especially when it comes to clothes sets, especially when it comes to all of that stuff. So she's like literally throwing every single person under the bus that this happened. Not only that, Brian Freeman and his entire law firm, she's going after all of the content creators, over 107 content creators, most of them women, and now Jamey Heath's wife. When does it end? Like, you let me know. What else do you need Blake Lively to prove it? Justin Baldoni was right about you when the only insult he's ever said about Blake Lively that she can find in the text messages is that she's always a woman who believes she's right. And at this point, I think they've just gone too far. And asking now to even for these sanctions and for them to not be able to defend themselves, it needs to stop. She's out of control. At Super Sarah 7932 said, imagine Miss Heath having to have her entire labor/birth video entered into evidence. That's a violation. Again, Blake is the perpetrator hiding behind litigation privilege. Disgusting. Yeah. Disgusting indeed. At Riot9899 said, one thing that we have learned throughout this whole case is that when Blake and her team files a motion with redactions, it is almost guaranteed that it's a lie. Remember that tag interrogatories where Ezra said that all 107 content creators were listed and it turned out that only Perez, Candace, Andy, and Billy Bush? Also, Claire Ayub's redacted declaration also refuted when the recording came out. So, do not trust for 1 second these motion from Blake's team. Period. Couldn't have said it better myself, Rye. At Valerie Woodard 9392 wrote, wow, that's wonderful. Talking about my film Desire that was in the film festival. I wish I could see it. Hopefully you'll be making a movie with Wayfair Studio someday. Could you imagine? That would be a dream come true. I love working with passionate indie filmmakers. I just love it. I love it. I love getting in there. I love character work. I like raw expression and stories that matter. It would be a dream come true. And Desire will be online very shortly. We're just going through the rest of the film festival, and I'll let y'all know where you can watch it very soon. At Jan0626 wrote, sounds like Blake can't tell the difference between acting and real life. Was she ever really Lily, or was she always Blake? Sounds like she is confused and has confused the entire situation because she can't act. Everything is about her. Facts. 100%. I mean, that is it. She took everything so personal instead of directions for the character, like directions for acting. She thought that everything said was being said to her. And then she took every single conversation and scenario and completely flipped it on its head. It's oh my gosh, I would never want to work with someone like this. I would never want someone like this in my life, but to work with them on set, someone like this, no thank you. Didem Wazi 8461 wrote, people need to be reminded of all these facts. After the video of the dance montage evidence was released, she amended her complaint. Didn't she change up some things that didn't align with her initial lies? Yes. And this was on the video when I was comparing, like, the multiple different variations of stories that Blake Lively told. So now she just wants all of the birthing scenes so that she can nitpick and cherry pick the little piece that she can say fits her narrative. Just like the way she changed the dance montage, just like how she's been founded lying about the actual birthing scene that she did. It's just it's too much. And last but not least, at Cat added 6305 wrote, your opinion would change if you were the billionaire. It's their money, and that's coming from someone with a hell of a lot less money than you have. Let's get into it real quick. First of all, I'll never be a billionaire because I would give money away. I would donate it. I don't have much now, and I still donate as well as volunteer my time, and I try to be of service to others in my community and other actors and just anyone in my life that I can be. What I said yesterday didn't fly with some people, and it's not even anything that I said about like regular people, but the billionaire comment kind of got under some people's skins. They don't care about you. No. Right? And I will never support billionaires who are making their money off the backs of hardworking individuals who don't make a living income enough to support their family and buy groceries. When you have billionaires and then you have communities of people and your neighbors and your brothers and sisters and everyone in your city who can't even get food and are working full-time jobs for these billionaires and still aren't on living wages, I will never support that. I will never support billionaires not having to pay the proper amount of taxes. They're being taxed 1% to 2%, while everyone else is 12 and above. I will never agree that. Tax the rich, X the billionaires, help people, be of service. There's no reason why one man should have $500 billion and a single mom working 3 jobs still can't put food on the table. I will never, ever, ever change my stance on that. So y'all can keep trying to come back and forth in the comments about my comments about billionaires all day, all you want. I will never change my stance on that, no matter how successful I get, no matter how rich I get, no matter what kind of status I get to. Never. And I want to be rich. I want wealth in my life. I know it's going to come. I know. And you know why I want that? So I can help more people. So I could make more movies and then I could help the less fortunate. That's what I want to do. I want to create positive change. So just a reminder again, you might not agree with every single thing that I say, and that's okay. Okay? But that's my channel. I know, that's a hard truth, right? Kind of like a punch in the gut. And I want it to be a community. I want us all to support each other like that, but I'm not going to go back and forth over my beliefs on ethics and morality and on billionaires who don't give a crap about you or me. You feel me? Okay, so let's just go into the rest of the day and the rest of the week and the rest of our lives with more love and compassion and like really strive to be of service to others. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. I love you guys so much. And thank you to everyone that, has supported me. The more I try to use my platform, my voice for the less fortunate and for the oppressed and for the children and women who are suffering around the world globally. It's very scary to speak about things like that, to speak about politics or WARs and isn't real, and people don't like it and some people do, but sometimes I just have it in me where I just need to get it out and I need to express how I'm feeling and hopefully can even just create the smallest amount of change or at least look back and know that I said something and I tried, and I'm going to continue that. And I hope the movement grows and I hope I'm able to do more in this lifetime to help and make it better. And I'm going into this weekend with love and excitement and joy in my heart. And I really hope that we can all do the same. So I hope you just are able to love yourself a little bit more and fill up your cup, because you're no good empty to anyone else, and be an energy and be a force that wants the best for everybody, not just yourself, but for all of those around you. Tonight, I will not be around if Jennifer Abel drops her counterclaim, y'all. I'm going out there. It's Toronto night, Game 6. Let's go, Jays. You feel me? But yeah, if anything happens over the weekend, and of course, if it pops off tonight, I will be here tomorrow to give you all the tea. I love you so much, and I'm so happy you're here. And yeah, I just had to say that little thing just because, I just had to. It was in me. I love you so much. And yeah, I will talk to you soon. Happy Friday. Bye.